Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing another Khan Academy tutorial, this time on perfect squares. This was requested by the Chatta family. Thank you so much for requesting this, and if you have your own request, make sure to leave a comment with the specific video or worksheet that you need help with. So in this one, we are going to be factoring some trinomials. So if you need some help on this, I'm going to link a video at the end, if you want to click on it, that's going to give an intro of how to factor trinomials. But I'm going to just kind of assume that you know how to do some of the basics of trinomials, and we're going to get right to it. So in this one, we see 48 minus 24x plus 3x squared. Ignore the stuff on the right for now, but I want to take a look at this. You're going to notice there's a squared term. Whoops, sorry about that. You're going to notice that there's a squared term right here with the x, and then x by itself, and then no x, a constant. Okay, so we know it's a trinomial. It's got those three components to it, and it's going to be factored into hopefully a perfect square. That's what this whole exercise is about. Let me talk about briefly what is a perfect square trinomial. So a perfect square trinomial looks like that, and it's because it's got that squared there. It's a binomial that's squared. And when you expand it, it looks like that, and then you can see that I multiply it in this step. Now, whenever you're going to multiply a perfect square trinomial, you're going to notice a pattern, and that pattern is these two middle terms, 4x and 4x, are going to combine, and it's going to result in this, x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now, what do you notice about the 4 and how it relates to 8 and 16? Well, hopefully you notice a pattern that we double 4 two times for the middle term, and then we're going to square for that last term. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to see that, because here's the general form. Down here, if we have any two terms that are a binomial and it's squared, it's going to be a squared plus 2 times ab, and then plus b squared. And if we have a minus, it's almost the same thing. It's just a minus sign instead of a plus. So that's kind of like your general pattern for perfect square trinomials. Now, you're going to look here, and you see that this middle term and this last term, okay, and this first term, the coefficient of x squared, don't really fit the pattern yet, okay? And the reason why is because we need to actually do some GCF factoring first, okay? And I'm going to try to find a GCF factoring video. You can find it. You can just type in a search for my YouTube channel, and you'll find it. But GCF means greatest common factor. What is a common factor between all three of these coefficients? And we're going to see that it's 3. Usually you look at the smallest number, and in this case it's going to fit. Now I'm actually going to do some rearranging too. I'm going to factor out the 3, and I'm going to rearrange it so the squared term is first. The x term is next, so let's see. 24 divided by 3 is going to give us 8x, and then 48 divided by 3 is 16. That's plus 16. Okay, check this out. This was kind of unintentional, but we have something that's very similar to what we had over here. The only difference is a minus, okay? So let me kind of break down how do we handle this. Let's assume we didn't do this step right here. I'm going to keep the 3 out in front. Now what I'm going to do is, for the pattern, you could either factor this like normal. Like if you know how to factor, you could just factor this like normal, okay? And I have a video on that. I'm going to link the intro video. So I'm going to assume that you know how to do that. You can use that real quick. If you were to do that, you'd get something that looks like this. Okay, and then you see that, oh, look, I can factor this to be x minus 4. It's multiplied by itself twice. I can make that squared, and then that would be your final answer. Okay, but let's assume you don't know how to do that. Okay, let's look at the form here. Since it is a perfect square exercise, let's try to just use some of the clues they give us. Well, we see that 8 and 16 have a relationship. Okay, they're both factors of 4. And if we take the square root, you're always going to start whatever with this last term, the constant. See if you can take the square root of it. You can. Once you're done with the square root, see if you can double it to get the middle term. You can. So with those two steps in our mind, we know that we can put a 4 there in confidence, and we know it's a perfect square trinomial. Next, there's so much blue, it's kind of hard to see. Let me erase some of this. There we go. we see that there's a minus sign in there, so we're going to put a minus sign in there. So if this is a plus, you're going to put a plus, kind of like down here, okay, in this section. Okay, if it's a plus, you're going to put a plus. If it's a minus, you're going to put a minus. Okay, in this case, it was a minus, so we're going to keep the minus there, okay? All right, now we're done. We got the same result. So 3 times quantity x minus 4 squared. We're going to type that in, and then it should give us that little jingle. So x, where's that x? Don't use a multiplication sign, common mistake, and then squared. Okay, and we're going to just check it. Got the jingle, okay. All right, here we go, another one. Ooh, this one looks a little tough, but let's check this out. So notice first that these do not have any common factors, okay? 25 has only 5. 49 only has 7. So it looks like we're out of luck, but we're not. Okay, first thing we're going to do, rearrange it. I don't like looking at it in this way, so we're going to put 49x squared plus 70x plus 25. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this backward stuff. Okay, second, we're going to do some analysis here. I'm actually just do one. Now, again, you can put 2 parentheses here and do the factoring just like I show in the intro video, but I'm going to try to do it just using the perfect squares method. All right, now, what we're going to do here is we're going to look for square root of this guy, square root of 25, and that's 5. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, if I double 5, I don't get 70. But here's the thing. If you look back on the other page, number 1, there was no coefficient in front of x squared. That changes things. So this 49 there changes how we think about this problem. It makes it more difficult, honestly. So if you remember back from, let me do the AB actually. When we had the AB general form, I'll change it to black, a plus b squared, it was actually a squared plus 2ab, okay? So really we need to take the square root not only of the b squared term, but also the first term, okay, the x squared term. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that. Let's do that in blue. Psych, we're going to do it in red. So I take the square root of 49x squared. The x you should know, okay? The x squared, you know it's going to give you x, okay? 49 should give you 7. So if you just kind of take a 2-step course of action on that, it's not so bad. All right, now, once we're done with this, okay, we're going to see if we multiply these two things together and then times 2 if we get that middle term right here, 70x. Do we get that middle term once we multiply these? So 5 times 7x times 2. We're going to see, does it equal 70x, question mark? Okay, we get 35x times 2. And we see that we do get that middle term. So that's great. Okay, that means we have the correct form for perfect square trinomial. Now, how do you put it in the parentheses? You're going to take these square roots. Okay, so these right here that we did in the first step to check to see if it was perfect square trinomial, that's what you're putting in the square root. So you're going to put 7x, you're going to put 5, and you're going to put the plus sign, and you're done. Okay, it's as simple as that. The main thing with this is you have to check to see if it's in the correct form or not. And since this exercise is all about perfect squares, it's going to be that way for this. But it's important to check because you're not going to see that on your normal assignments. It's not going to be like, oh, this is a perfect square trinomial. You got to double check that, okay? So let's see here. We're just going to type in 7x plus 5 and squared, and that's going to be our answer. So 7x plus 5 squared, check it, jingle, where is it? There we go. Next question. All right, this one's a little bit easier, it looks like. And check this out. There's a common factor between all these. Okay, 7, 14, 7. Let's make our lives easier. Let's divide everything by 7. Let's factor out the 7. So we have, I don't know why it does this. We're going to put the x squared first, 2x, and then plus 1. Okay, now, what we're going to do here, now that we kind of got the idea, we're going to take the square root of that, and we're going to take the square root of that. I don't know why I keep changing the colors, but I hope you guys are staying with me. So we're going to take the square root of x squared. It's just x. That makes it easy, okay, when there's no coefficient. And then we're going to take the square root of 1, and we got 1. Okay, now, so far so good. They both have square roots, but we need to check to see if we multiply them together. Okay, so we multiply them together and then times by 2 if we get the middle term. Okay, so will we get the middle term if we multiply those two square roots together and then multiply by 2? And the answer is yes. So we're going to get 1x times 2 equals 2x. We're good. This is the perfect square. Whoops, sorry about that. Where'd it go? Right here. We're going to get that middle term right there. So x squared plus 2x plus 1. That means we can keep the 7 out in front. Don't forget that 7. That's a common mistake. And then we'll do x plus 1, just these right here. We're going to put those square roots there and then put that squared outside. So 7 times x plus 1 squared. Let's find that. 7 x plus 1 squared. Double check. Looks good. Jingle. Next question. Last one. Okay, 25, 30 have common factors, but 25 does not have a factor of 3. Okay, so we're out of luck there. However, let's check to see if it's in our perfect square trinomial form. We're going to take the square root of both those. So square root of 25x squared and square root of 9. Okay, we get 5x and we get 3. Now, we need to check to see if it multiplies together to give us that 30x after we multiply by 2. So we multiply 5x times 3, and then we also have to multiply by 2 and see if it equals 30x. So we get 15x times 2. Okay, it looks like we're going to get it. 30x equals 30x. Okay, great. Now, what changes? Well, we don't have it. We didn't factor out anything, so nothing's going to go out in front there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just take these these square roots, and we're going to put them in the different spots. Okay, this is the first spot. Put that in the second spot, and then we're going to put a minus there. Okay, we're just going to copy that minus down because there was a minus. Okay, so anytime you see a minus, you put minus. Anytime you see plus, you see plus. Don't forget the squared, and that's it. Okay, so 5x minus 3 squared, and we're done. Let's go ahead and type that in. 5x minus 3 squared. Double check. Check it. Jingle. So I hope that video was helpful. Thank you so much for requesting it. Make sure to stay tuned for other videos like this. I have other factoring trinomial Khan Academies and other worksheets and other explanation videos, tons more like it. So I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.